What's going on, everybody? This is Mr. KB. It's been a long time since I've actually done one of these videos, and I'm sorry I'm all bushy-haired or nappy-haired, whatever you want to call it. I am literally a few seconds from watching the most upsetting thing I have watched all season long. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm a huge 49ers fan. I love the Niners. I've loved them since I was like 5 or 6, for as long as I could remember. I've been a Niners fan. I'm about to be 32 years old. So in the grand scheme of things, we're talking about me being a Niners fan, a lover, a believer for over 20 years, and they just got blown up by the Raiders. By the Raiders, a team who got blown out by the Rams 52-0. Now, I've never liked the Raiders. I don't care about the Raiders. But to put that in perspective, the Rams are last in the NFC West. Dead last. They've been able to beat the Niners. They've been able to beat a few other teams, even though they're not necessarily the best. They blew out the Raiders by 52. And now the Niners lose. Now, there were plays on the defense, but I'm not going to blame the defense. They've been carrying the team all season long. All season long, they've been carrying the team. They've had injuries on defense, and even with the substitutions coming in, they've been able to hold down the fort. Offense, I mean, who really can you blame? There's Crabtree, there's Bolden, Vernon Davis, Carlos Hyde, Frank Gore. We got Brandon Lloyd, we got Stevie Johnson. You can't blame any of those guys. The O-line, yes, they've been susceptible this year to giving up sacks and not being able to block. But they've been injured as well. But you know what? I am going to blame one person on the offense, and that is Colin Kaepernick. I don't care what anybody says. The man is trash. Outside of the hype train that he built for himself, coming in after week 10, when Alex Smith got hurt, that led on to the second season, the man has been absolute trash. And it's not something that's just happened this year because of Craig Roman or because Jim Harbaugh is not coaching him right. It's him. Him in particular. He himself is a terrible quarterback. Now people may think, oh, who are you to judge him? I'm just a guy ranting on video. That's the only person that I am. I am a couch jockey. I will admit that. I look at my team play. This is the only time of year that I watch any type of sporting event on a regular basis. It's football season because that's how much I like the Niners. I love the Niners. So I will give up anything that I'm doing during football season to watch my Niners play. And Kaepernick has been terrible. And it hasn't just been this season. It's been pretty much the last 2 seasons. Time management, terrible. I don't think I've ever seen any other quarterback get as many delay of games as Kaepernick. Now, again, you can say, oh, but Greg Roman doesn't make the call on time, and Jim Harbaugh doesn't have to give him the signals, blah, blah, blah. Alex Smith didn't seem to have a problem with it. Alex Smith didn't seem to have a problem. If anything, Alex Smith went from here to here when Harbaugh came. Learning the same system, the same scheme, the same play calling. He went up here. He's still at this level in Kansas City. Still at this level. Now, it's not, to put this in perspective where I'm talking about his level, you know, we're talking about Alex Smith here, and then we're talking about Rodgers and Brady and Manning and everybody else. You know what? It's like you can't even see it. Where my tips are, you can't even see the tips of my fingers no more. That's where they're at. They're up here. Alex Smith is here. And he was right here. So where does Kaepernick fall? I'm not going to say he's that much worse than Smith at his worst. You know what? Yes, I am. He's way down here. Way down here. Time management, terrible. Progressions, terrible. Who the hell has he been throwing it to the last 2 games? During Thanksgiving. What the hell? During this game. 2 picks. 2 picks. The last one that Charles Woodson caught, who the hell was he throwing it to? There's no white jerseys anywhere around that ball. Is he colorblind too? Because he can't see the color of the jerseys. It's a black jersey and it's right to Charles Woodson's chest. Like right in the breadbasket right here. Who the hell was he throwing it to? The man has been trash and has been getting lucky for the last season and a half. The game against Green Bay last year in the playoffs, they're lucky they won that, because anybody who wants to go back and watch it, and I remember this clearly, anybody who wants to go back and watch this, Colin Kaepernick had 4 picks that would have been picks had the Green Bay defensive backs not dropped those easy interceptions, because the same thing progressed. And it caught up with him against Seattle. And this is where his trash status came in my eyes. The last play of that game was a fade route to Michael Crabtree with double coverage. One of the guys being Richard Sherman. I hate the dude. I honestly despise that man. I think he is a piece of crap. I'm trying to keep the cussing down. I believe he's a piece of crap. You know what I mean? I grew up in a similar hood to that man, and I believe he's a piece of crap. But you know what? He grew up out of that hood, became an NFL player, so he can be whoever the fuck he wants, whoever the hell he wants to be. And what he is right now is the best corner in the game. This coming from a Niners fan, I can respect the man's talent on the field. The person off the field, I think he's a piece of crap. But on that field, he is by far the best corner in the league. Fade route goes in. Sherman touches it. I believe Chancellor came down with the pick. Now, in an interview after, during Super Bowl weekend, ESPN asked Kaepernick, would you change anything about that last play? And this is the part, this is the moment where I knew this man was trash. And I quote, no, I think that was a good play. I would make that throw 10 out of 10 times. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You had 3 open receivers to your left side, but 10 out of 10 times you will throw that pass again into double coverage with arguably the best defensive back in the game right now being one of those guys in coverage. That's when I knew the man was trash. And it continued this whole season. If it wasn't for the defense, and Phil Dawson knocking the field goals when he had to, unfortunately he didn't even get some of them in this game. But you know what? He's been doing that all season long. And he's a kicker. You can't put all that on the kicker. Honestly, if you're putting that much pressure on your kicker week in and week out, you're doing something wrong. And all of this has to fall on Colin Kaepernick. Straight out. There's no other way to look at it. You can say, well, who's doing better? Russell Wilson, doing better. Carson Palmer, before he got injured and everybody thought and swore he was done, was doing better in Arizona. Bradford, they have a crappier team than the Niners do. But no lie, I would take Bradford over Kaepernick right now. That's 3 in our division that I would take over Kaepernick. You can call me stupid if you want. I don't care. I'm straight out saying my opinion, and I believe that I am correct in my opinion and in my evaluation of Kaepernick's skills as an NFL quarterback. Dalton and Cincy doing better. Hoyer and the Browns. The Browns. If there was one team that I would say were worse than the Raiders, it would be the Browns. And they've picked up with Hoyer as quarterback. Tannehill and Miami. Who else is out there? Mark Sanchez is doing a decent job in Philly. Mark Sanchez, butt fumble, doing a decent job in Philly. Not great, but decent. The only quarterbacks that Colin Kaepernick is better at right now, and it's only because he's on a better team, are two. Geno Smith and RG3. Those are the only two. Honestly, if I had to say, just on the skill base alone, those are the only two quarterbacks that Colin Kaepernick is doing better than, and falls way short of the level up here from the top three, which I would say would be Rodgers, Brady, and Manning. I have not been this upset during a regular season game, like really ever in my life. The last time I was this upset was when Kyle Williams fumbled those punts in the NFC Championship game. And everybody who swears they're a Niners fan cannot get off of Kaepernick's jock because of what he has done. He hasn't done shit. Sorry, he hasn't done anything. Oh, well, he almost won the Super Bowl. Almost doesn't count. He took us back to the NFC. No, he didn't. The defense did that. The defense has carried this team pretty much since Alex Smith has been there. They continued once Harbaugh came. But Alex Smith was a lot smarter than Colin Kaepernick. He has proven as much in Kansas City. Now you can say, oh, well, he's mobile, he can do this, and yeah. The man is an incredible athlete. The man possesses skills and physical attributes that I will probably never accomplish in my life. Ever. And I'm okay saying that I will admit to that. I have no problem with that. But at the same time, he is getting paid $115 million over the next 6 years to be a professional quarterback. So I feel just in judging him. The man makes, I don't know how much more than the average working American. Me as an average working American, I like to watch my games. And it's one thing to know that your team is so good and there's one person really dragging them down. And it's not coaches. It's not the coaches. It's Kaepernick. Throws are off, way off base. Sometimes I don't even know who the hell he's throwing it to. Terrible timing, terrible progression, terrible time management, terrible defense recognition, terrible audibles, terrible just everything. Everything. He has spots where he's like, oh my, he could be the next great thing since Steve Young. And it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Can say the man struggles day in and day out. He's probably had one, maybe one, and I can't remember who it was against. One lights out performance. At this point, from what I saw, head to head, I would take Derek Carr. Straight up. Stayed in the pocket, positioned himself, and you can say, oh, but it's the Raiders. There's no way you can defend that head-to-head comparison competition. Derek Carr won. Derek Carr had the better numbers. Derek Carr had the better performance. You can see in the way that he plays that he's doing progressions. Kaepernick does not. There's no way you can defend this in any way, shape, or form. If it's against Seattle, then you can say, oh, Seattle just has a better O-line. They have a better whatever. You can say that. You can even say that against Arizona. To a small degree, you can probably even say that with the Rams, because the Rams have been hampered with injuries. So if they're at full strength, they're a good team. You can say all of that about everyone, but you cannot in any way, shape, or form defend Colin Kaepernick's performance against the Raiders. He should have put up 40 points. He should have had 5, 6 touchdowns this game. This should have been his retribution game, his redemption, his exiting from the average to being like, this is what we do at the elite level. And he failed to do that. I don't care how you try to defend this. It's not the coaches. It could be a little of the O-line, but at the same time, he's not reading defenses correctly. He's surrounded with great. It ain't the defense. Like I said, they've carried this team for who knows how long. Their backs hurt. Shoulders are aching, backs hurting, knees hurt. It happens when you have to carry that the whole season, and it's caught up with them. At this point, I wish that they would make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to. And even if they do, they haven't put up any touchdowns. What's going to change in the next 3 games where if by chance they get a playoff berth, they're going to miraculously score 30 points for 4 games to try to win a Super Bowl? It's not going to happen. The man has terrible progressions. He's so busy doing Beats commercials and all those other crappy commercials that I don't know what he's practicing or who he's practicing with. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. If he's practicing the same crap over and over again, he's going to make the same mistakes, and that's what you see. Over and over again. Time management, terrible. Just throwing it directly to the corners. Terrible. Man. I can't, look. I'm gonna say it straight out. It's one man's opinion, and I'm entitled to have that opinion. That's what makes YouTube YouTube. It's YouTube. You can watch it, you can turn this off. I don't care. You can hate me all you want. Straight out. I already called them out. Lloyd, Crabtree, Stevie Johnson, Vernon Davis, Frank Gore, Carlos Hyde. I'm pretty sure there's a couple other ones that can catch the ball that I'm forgetting right now. The defense, solid. Injured, but solid. Top 5 in the league. Easy. Who right now in the quarterback position wouldn't love to have that team? Dude, that is everything. You have receivers, you have everything. Injuries, yes, it's part of the game, but you have to be able to adapt. New England does it all the time. And it's not coaching. Because Harbaugh, when he came, they started winning. They started winning. They stopped being 2-14, 3-13, 4-12, 7-9 for 2-3 years straight. They started winning. They started going to the playoffs. Started making NFC Championship games. They started having these, but Colin Kaepernick has regressed. He started up here in the high train and he's just regressed. He's regressed straight down. And he has nobody to blame but himself. He is a quarterback. He is a $100 million man in San Francisco. Now, my plea would be to management as a lifelong Niners fan. I don't know how the business works. I don't know how these contract situations work out because I'm not into it for the business. I'm into it just for the joy, the love of the sport, and the love of my Niners. If you can, you cut Kaepernick and try to keep as much of the team that you have now current. Maybe let go of some of the receivers if you feel whatever you feel. Keep Gore around, keep Hyde around. Those 2 guys, if given the ball, can run you to victory. If they're given the ball. That's one thing I will blame on coaches. Just give those 2 men the damn ball. Receivers, who doesn't want to play in Frisco? The O-line, once they get healthy, they'll be good again. The defense, again, instead of being top 5, they'll be top 3 when they're 100%. But you need to be able to keep them. If you can minimize your losses and cut Kaepernick, you cut him and you put a traditional quarterback, then Harbaugh coach up, and you will win. You will win. Because that's what it requires. If you look at the mobile quarterbacks, like a Rodgers, a Wilson, even an Alex Smith, yeah, they're not mobile by definition of being able to run fast like a Vic or an RG3 before he got hurt. But they're able to move around the pocket as opposed to like a Manning or a Brady. But the one thing is their legs are an option that they can use when they have to use it. Instead of, if I can't run, I don't know what to do. And that's what Kaepernick is. If he can't run, he doesn't know what to do. He is a quarterback. He's supposed to throw it, not run it. You cut him, keep the team core, play somebody there, put Josh Johnson there. Put Colt McCoy there. I don't care who you put there. Put somebody that can be coached up. Put him in that position, Give Carlos Hyde and Frank Gore the ball, 40 touches, 45 touches between the two of them for the whole game, and you guys will win. With the team you guys have now, replace that expensive ass, if you want to call him a quarterback, replace him, put in a cheap quarterback, and just win with the team you guys have, minus Colin Kaepernick. Business-wise, I don't know what the hell that does, but that needs to happen. Man, the Raiders! We lost to the Raiders! But anyways, that's been Mr. KB. Congrats to the Raider, to Raider Nation. You guys took it. You guys came and owned it, and you guys have exemplified, have put an exclamation point on why this team needs changes at the quarterback position. He could not exploit the weaknesses and hasn't been able to all year. This Raider game is the definition of that. Plain and simple. Colin Kaepernick winds up looking like Gizmo. Doesn't know what the hell to do, scared all the damn time. Period. Hate me if you guys want to hate me. Call me a wannabe Niners fans, but I have been there for over 20 years and I have loved them when they were at the bottom, getting the first round pick in Alex Smith, all the way to the top and almost winning the Super Bowl. I have loved them either way. I will continue to love my team. But just because I love my team doesn't mean I have to be blind to what the team actually needs as a fan of the sport. Alright everybody, it's Mr. KB. I'll see you guys next time.